All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Spectator Mode Podcast. You're joined by your lovely host once again, myself, Gitsilius. You're joined by PNG Scott.
Hello.
And you're joined by Kiefer the Reefer, Reefer the Kiefer, Keef it pushing, Kiefer the Menace, Keith.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. It's a take on Keith the Sutherland and Dennis the Menace, my late brother. Rest in peace, Dennis the Menace, the OG Dennis the Menace.
The OG, yeah.
Good old comics.
Good old comics, good times, and a TV show. Good TV show. I was a kid. I love that. Yeah.
And a cartoon.
And a cart. Yeah.
Got it all.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Got it all. Yeah. It was good times. And speaking of good times, man, before we start any Spectator Mode podcast, we're on episode 199. Next time we get big 200, man. That's a big sentiment, big 200. But yeah, next time for Spectator Mode, before we start any Spectator podcast, let's talk about the what we've been doing recently, games we've been playing, stuff we've been doing, real life, and I'm gonna give it to PNG Scott to kick it off.
Alrighty, so I guess we'll start off with the thing I've been playing a lot of recently because I just got access to the demo early, which was Trails in the Sky First Chapter.
And this is where my friendship with Scott ends, and replacing him with everyone's favorite white actor, Macaulay, Matthew McConaughey.
Aw. You don't replace with Bluey?
I mean, Matthew McConaughey has a great voice. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about half the time, but everyone likes hearing him.
Yeah, so Trails in the Sky First Chapter's demo covers the entire prologue, which may not seem like a lot, but it took me about 6.5 hours to actually beat, or I guess complete, because I do the whole, talk to every NPC, see what they do, because they added more NPCs you can talk to in Roland, because before it was like 2 or 3 NPCs you could talk to in the game, with some more in houses if you, crash your way into people's houses. Because, back in those days, in the early 2000s, JRPGs, you just smash your way into people's houses and talk to them, because you needed to know what they had information on.
Yeah, you got to ask them a bunch of things. My favorite one's an NPC tells you're old or tell you the town you're in. Like, have you enjoyed the town? Like, thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing.
Don't you know the town that we're in? Nah, my character totally wasn't born here or anything.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. They did a lot to this remake. They basically made Trails in the Sky inside the Daybreak engine, and it works extremely well.
They put Peak inside Peak, so therefore it's true Peak then, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the Daybreak engine is probably the best engine Trails has ever had.
Not gonna lie,
having them put it with Trails in the Sky was just like a winning combination. Especially because, I don't know if you remember the first Trails in the Sky, at least playing it, but I remember going back to it, I had more difficulty because the balance was balanced for 4 party members, but you only had 2 most of the game. It was rough trying to do combat, because you always had to overlevel at least Estelle, because Estelle needed to basically one-shot all the easy enemies with, the Hurricane move. And then Joshua can basically take his time soloing the main enemy, the main boss. Because he had heavy hitting moves, but his heavy hitting moves are always very small ranges or can attack once. Whereas Estelle had a lot of AoE attacks, but they were focused on her strength stat most of the time. So if you had anyone who had physical resistance, it sucked to fight.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of a game I'll probably talk about later while I was playing. It's it's one of the reasons why I kind of appreciate Phantasy Star 4 more now, because you kind of get the party very quickly, so you have your full stat of people, at least 4 people. The game's designed for 5 party members. You get 4 people. You got your caster, your melee, your AoE hitter, your mage, get your hunt day. So it's the pain. Yeah, I have my single target guy. I have my AoE guy. Can I win this fight? Good luck with that.
But yeah, so I think my favorite thing about this being in the remake of the Daybreak engine is there's action combat that you can fight the little enemies first before you do the turn-based mode against the big guy. So it actually, I think, is balanced a lot better because of the engine it's in. So this is Trails in the Sky at most likely going to be its finest. If the Roland prologue is anything to go by, this game is going to be phenomenal. The other game, ironically, I've been playing, it has nothing to do with Trails, is a game that I'm working on getting to the end of before I can review it. It's an interesting take on the FMV type games. It's called Knowledge or No Lady. And essentially, you're a guy who's in an all-girl school, and your plan as a guy is to try to do your best to finish math class in this school. Now, that said, it's an all-girls school, and you're one guy in the entirety of the school, so you'll have some of them who are very much want to get close to you. And you have your choices of actually like getting close to a person or focusing 100% on just your studies and trying to do all that you can to get past the math class in this university. And it's interesting because it's all done through FMV, full motion videos. It reminds me of like the old Sega CD video games where a lot of them were just FMVs and you like chose your response, and based on your response, the person would then do something. That's kind of how it goes in this game. But it actually has a lot of depth to like the routes and the things you can take, because you kind of have to do like a lot of different playthroughs to find items, because in order for you to find specific items, you have to go to a different route in the game to get that item, and then you have to go back to the end of the route you're currently on to then use the item. So you have to kind of like go back in time and then forward in time a lot of the time to actually get to the route you want to go on. So
you're supporting save scumming. That's what you're saying.
It doesn't. I mean, it's not required to do save scumming, but I also am never gonna say don't do it.
Right.
Save scumming is always helpful, especially if you're worried about saves getting corrupted.
Right. I also wanted to ask you. You didn't confirm that Estelle actually stopped the unification war. You also didn't mention that. Did Estelle say the Crossbell Liberation Front? That's where are the confirmations for that? You didn't confirm that at all.
We still have to get farther in the game because the prologue only does Roland.
What? You tell me the first 2 minutes, she just like, I'm gonna save Crossbell as 8-year-old Estelle. I'm like, all right, I believe you. Let's go.
No. The first 2 minutes, she has to beat the crap out of an 11-year-old Joshua.
That's on brand, actually. I'm not gonna lie, that's on brand.
You don't talk dad to my dad. Only I can talk dad to my dad. But now he's my dad too. No.
What? The only funny though would be like, it's like you can't talk bad about my dad. It's like he's not your real dad. He's like, that's right, my real dad. And then he points to like Van Archive, like in the background, is eating, like working a farmer job or something. Because he's like in his late 20s. So by the time Estelle was aboard, he was like,
he was already a main pro tag.
Exactly. God. But yeah, that's enough trail joking. We'll save it. We'll save it for the SSS for Triple S. So.
Yeah, so those are the main 2 games that I've been playing. I've been trying to play as much as I can, but I've also been, moving in a house, and that requires a lot of time and effort to unpack and pack and then unpack. And so far, I have all my boxes now in the house, but now I have to unpack all those boxes. Hence why I'm also a PNG tuber, because one of my webcams are in a different box than my computer was in.
Brutal. Oh man, that sounds great. So, Keith, what have you been up to besides being a menace and trying to convince everyone that it's time for us to rise up and play Monster Hunter Wilds, even though the game has pissed off the entire fan base?
First of all, I would never tell anybody to play Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been saying this for the last couple of months now. The game is in such a terrible shape that nobody should play this game. The devs clearly did not listen to anything that we've told them. When we played the game during the review process, the game played well, but there was always that, hey, they're stuttering here, it's doing this here. But the moment we got to play the game online,
for real.
Like, it broke. And we're like, hey, this shit does not work. Fix this shit. And everybody is screaming at Capcom, fix it, fix it, fix it.
So clearly we're going to get a Nintendo Switch 2 port. That's gonna run.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I like, to be off tangent here. I just couldn't believe that Monster Hunter Wilds, good game, they just straight up abandoned it. I've never seen this. Like they made it. And,
it really feels like it, and that's the frustrating part because I've said it's one of the better Monster Hunter games. It does a lot of things that people have been asking the game to do, and yet Capcom's like, we got your money, we don't care. And it's like, Capcom, you've been on such a great streak. What's going on here? Why are you doing this? So now everybody's bitching even more, and Capcom's like, okay, look, we're going to fix the performance issues, and we're like, you've been saying that shit for ever since the game was released. And you haven't done it, and now we got this.
Only been like
Final
6 months.
Fantasy Wild crossover. Everybody's getting happy about. Like, look, the game is still broke. No, don't congratulate them.
By the way, that's such a terrible thing. It's like, you know what Sapod is? It's like they planned the game year out, and it's like, all right, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and this, right? And it's like, what if something gets in that? Like, now I'm still gonna do it anyway. Like, bro, what? It's like they're speed running their own game, you know?
It's very frustrating, but no, not playing that game. I'm playing 2 games I can't talk about, obviously, because NDA. And unlike some people on YouTube who put shit up then when they're not supposed to, when the NDA clearly tells you not to do it, but you do it because you want that clout. By the way, you did this shit before and you never got your hand smacked. Not saying who it is, but you.
You know who you are.
You know who you are, or most people know who you are. But let's talk about something I actually did play. So I did go to New York last week, and I played Onimusha Way of the Sword, and I played Monster Hunter. I was like Monster Hunter. Yeah, I played Resident Evil Requiem. First things first, I'm not going to take too long on this because I have a video up. You can go watch the video. Onimusha is not a Souls-like.
No.
So please stop.
It's an Onimusha game that's designed like
Onimusha.
Onimusha.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wouldn't.
It's just Onimusha combat brought into the modern era, and it's like it's not a Souls-like because these games existed before this subgenre existed. So please stop saying that. Just because there's a damn stamina bar doesn't make it a Souls-like. Please stop.
Clearly, From Software invented stamina bars.
Just because you get locked into an animation when you're doing an attack does not make it a Souls game. They've been doing this for generations. Please stop. That said, I think it's a fun game. I think it's going to attract a lot of people. I love the fact that the combat is really meaty. I love the fact that you can deflect and or parry things if you get really good at it. I really do think that they've nailed the aesthetics. And for those who've been waiting for a new Onimusha game, this is going to be fun. I really liked what I played. And I wish I could play longer, but couldn't because short-ass demo. Other game, Resident Evil, I'll put it this way. I'm not even going to sit here and talk about it. I'm just going to go. When I was talking to one of the Capcom guys, he asked me what I think about it. I said, it reminds me of the original Resident Evil. Complete with the jump scares, complete with the tense environments. When you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like there was one part in the game where I forget what the hell the thing is called, came down the hallway. And I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention until I turned around. It was like this close in front of me. And I was like, nope. And I said out loud because I wasn't really paying attention. I was playing a game with headphones on, and the guy who was with me laughed because he heard me go, nope. I was like, I was that immersed in the game. I cannot wait to play the rest of this game. This game is fun. Resident Evil Requiem is going to be fun. It's a return to the original style of horror that Capcom is known for its Resident Evil games. The only downside I don't like about the game so far is we know nothing about it. We literally know nothing about it. But I guess that's also a good thing because now Capcom can keep spoon feeding us everything about the game. So there's that. Yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. And of course, watching Sakamoto Days because I love that anime. Love it. Love it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And if you're not watching it, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Go watch it. I'm done. See, that was easy.
Wow, that was pretty fast. So what I've been doing is outside of streaming myself, going through my Final Fantasy PvP grind. I've also been playing Wario Land 3, Phantasy Star 4. I finished beating Breath of Death Reanimated by Cylaria Games, and I feel like it's not that much improvement compared to the original, and that's about it. But I had fun playing. It was a short game, so I had fun playing that. That's pretty good. I tried. I've also got my hand on a couple of other retro games. I got my hands on the Operation Night Strikers port. Plays pretty fun. I enjoy it. and I did try a little bit of Fallen City Brawl, and I think it has some unique ideas how to do special attacks, but I feel like the game's just way too short for what it's supposed to be. Like that price point's too high. I got into it as like beat 'em ups, but like $14.99. It should not be that price. I'm sorry, is it 14? I want to confirm. I'm saying 14. I want to be sure. Yeah, it's $14.99. I got it from 10% off, but it should definitely be. It feels like a $12.99 at best, maybe $9.99 game. It's very, very short. It is very, very short. There's not much content under it. It should not be worth that much. That's about it. But it's a fun experience, though. So I agree with Scott on that one. Like, yeah, it's a short game. It's a decent beat 'em up. Not a lot of sauce, but that's what I have been up to. Just playing some retro games, some retro games like WarioWare. I played some Phantasy Star 4, and it makes me appreciate that game so much. It's really, really fun. Like things like God, the fact you get the party so quickly is nice. I posted some screenshots on Blue Sky, like some of the early moments of Phantasy Star 4. It's pretty cool, and that's what I'm playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 PvP. I need to get on other stuff, but that's after that because I got a busy week this week. So that's that in a nutshell. So that's all. All I've been up to. Yeah, it's not. As I said, it's not much. There's not much to it from that on. But speaking of things to get pretty quick on, so with the leak photos going around and everything, we have finally, and years of people screaming about it. We finally got Silksong. People hype about it. We know when it's coming out. We know when it's weird. But the question is do people know what Silksong is supposed to be, or are they just living in the hype bubble?
Well, let me go a little further. People have actually played the game, so they're playing the game, and some of the people that played the game were like, "I don't know if this game's going to live up to the hype." Now, to go back to your question, I think Silksong is one of those games that's fallen into the memes where people are like, "Yeah, I want to play this game," and they have no idea what the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
I really think this is what this game is because it's been in development so long and people just wanted to come out. Like Duke Nukem Forever. Like that game was in development for so long, even people who had no idea what the hell Duke Nukem was, they wanted the game to come out so they can play it. And I kind of feel bad for Team Cherry because I want this game to succeed and I know it will. But people that are getting so excited about this game need to take their ass back and play Hollow Knight, first of all. Because it might play the game and go, first of all, ew, bugs, because that's the thing. And two, they might go, oh, this style of game is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So why are you getting hyped about this if you don't like the first one? Go play the first one.
They see that cover image of Silksong, and that's just immediately it's just like, this is going to be the greatest game ever.
Like I'm seeing everybody go, wow, this game is so great. I'm like, did you even play the first one?
I feel like, yeah, exactly. Like to me, I played Hollow Knight. I've beaten it. I think the game is okay. Like it's not my cup of tea, but here I am. I'm talking about this game, but I also am trying to 100% Warrior Land 3. So like everyone has different tastes when it comes to Metroidvanias. It's just not for me. There's elements I think it's good, but there are things good and bad about Hollow Knight. And Silksong is interesting. I'll probably beat it just to get the lore, make sure I get the good ending because I want to make sure the ending is good. Get that good ending, but that's all I really care about. Other than that, like, I'm more. There's going to be tons and tons of people speedrunning it. There's going to be tons and tons of boss mods. There's going to be tons and tons of cheating allegations coming from the Chinese scene. If you know the joke, you know.
First of all, I hope people don't speedrun this game because as long as it's taken for this game to come out, you need to slow down. You need to savor this game.
Nah, that's going to happen. I really got to accept that.
At that point, it's just like, why? There are
because people
speedrun. Go play those.
No. People speed run the game before. Like it's always been that way. Like there's an entire community dedicated to the speed run aspect of Hollow Knight to a point that's the game they know. They know it. They see it through that lens. So therefore,
I don't know. I feel like it's just a big disservice if they do that to themselves. That's just me.
I mean, it's it's how they enjoy the game. It's on them from that point. I'm just like I can't wait to see all the people speedrun. That's my honest take. I can't wait to see all the people speedrun it. I can't wait.
Well, I'm glad to see the game's finally coming out. I want to see this big announcement for tomorrow. Well, today is the Tuesday, August 20th. Tomorrow, August 21st, they will be doing an announcement for some reason. I don't know what it is. I hope it's not an announcement of the announcement. Hey, we're going to announce the game next month. Like, don't do that. But I can totally see that happening. And as for what you guys were talking about before the show started about who's got the marketing right and who blah, blah, blah. The only one who's not talking about this game is PlayStation. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen PlayStation do anything. I just know Nintendo had it at like one of their Nintendo Directs, and then Xbox had it during one of theirs for it going on Game Pass.
And now both of them have it at their booth at Gamescom. So
yeah, now both of them have at the same booth.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
here it is.
And I think in PAX they both have them too. I think Silksong is going to be at the Nintendo booth and at the Xbox booth.
Yes, it is. Yep. It is. It's confirmed. It's at both booths, and people are playing it right now. And people are writing up, going, "It's 120 hertz on the Switch too." And I'm like, I don't fucking care.
I don't care, man. This is like, I'm more like, how well does it play? How the movement's gonna feel? That's
right
more
there
important to me.
It's like the problem that I had with this terminology, and I'm not trying to call people idiots or dumb names or anything like that. But just because the game supports 120 hertz doesn't mean the game is going to run flawlessly. There's a whole lot that goes into this. So just slow your flow, wait to play the game. We don't even care. 60 frames per second is more than enough for this kind of game, guys. Let's not do this. Let's not get into this. That's me.
It's more like what they talk. What they talking? What they talking about? They talk about nothing, huh? They talk about nothing. Like, it's literally nothing talk. It's like, okay, I get it. You want to like talk about the technical prowess of it, but how does it play? No one cares about that. A game can run like a potato, and it plays good. We're all eating good.
Trust me. When I eventually get my hands on it, because it will be at PAX West, so everybody can play it. I'll let you know how I think about the game, because it is Metroidvania, and that's my shit.
Yeah, Metroidvania is a hit and miss for me. There's some that are really good, some just doesn't hit for me. That's about it. So each their own.
There's an anime Metroidvania I meant to ask you about. I don't want to.
Gal Guardians?
No, it's something else. Something Ascension.
The Fallen Tier Ascension.
Yeah, that's it right there. That looks nice. I want to try that. I think it's something you might enjoy, but again, we'll let you know how it plays, and also Fallen Tier Ascension, because I definitely want to play that as well. And that will be at PAX West as well, because Scott and I are going to die. We're dead. We have no life. Literally no life. It's like Friday and Saturday, do all the shit, and Sunday it's like, oh, there's nothing to do.
Sunday we're just gonna eat food. No.
Last time at PAX West, when everybody was gone, we just sat at the arena. My wife and I just watched them play fighting games and stuff, and just sat there for a couple hours until it was time for our plane to come. So I might do that again this year.
That's fun. The fun thing, speaking of PAX West, there's also another gaming convention coming out, and it's Gamescom.
I really wish I was there.
Well, you're not European enough to be there. So,
I mean, to be honest, I could have went, but that's also my job, because I work as a contractor, because they don't give us vacation, and it's like, well, you could have went, but you wouldn't get paid for the time you were over there.
Exactly.
The bills. So no, that wasn't going to be a thing.
That's pretty much that right there in a nutshell. But yeah,
I definitely couldn't have gone.
I lack the monetary power to go.
I mean, you're not allowed, Scott. You just purchased a domicile, so yeah, you can't go.
I can't go anywhere except for if it's close to me, like PAX is.
And you can go to Dick's Burgers for us too. You can eat one for me, because I'm
you
again,
don't get the beauty of Dick's.
Out of context, it's over. All right.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what?
Yeah, out of context, it's
Dick's
over.
Burgers.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. But it's like what you call the situation. The situation is like, so Gamescom be Europe. There's a lot of people there. I'm looking forward to see what comes out of there for. I would say, look, what I want coming out of there. Ooh. Let's see, point and click adventures. There's a couple of developers there. Nice. I want to see what else is going to be there. But I've always felt like the problem with Gamescom and why did they line themselves so close? I thought they would try to avoid, like every other conventions have learned to avoid each other. Otakon, Anime YC, away from each other, PAX East, whatever. It's like, can you guys just like avoid each other? Can we stop trying? Like, because like you're fighting for the same fan base. You're fighting for the same viewer. It's so weird. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't like it. I think
like
it's terrible. But the problem is all these people. Well, I don't blame Gamescom first of all, because Gamescom has always been cemented around this time frame. It's the other things that are changing their dates and getting close to Gamescom. And I'm sorry if I heard that jingle. That means the master is home. But all these different dates have been moved around, so now they conflict with Gamescom. The only event that doesn't get this is Tokyo Game Show. They're like, we're by ourselves. But Gamescom is like, we're fighting with everything that we already had. And is Gamescom actually really fighting with PAX West? Let's be honest. It's not. Maybe this year, but not any other time.
They're two different shows with two different appeals.
I disagree with that anymore. They're changing. I disagree with that.
I would say that no, because like PAX is still indie-esque. I mean, you're still putting things out there.
Not this year.
The thing is, like last year, 2 years ago when I was there, and I had the lovely appearance to meet Scott and his family, and when they told me that, yeah, Matt's the greatest, Matthew's the greatest person on Caecilius, he can now like buy my house, and then that's when Scott betrayed me, like Bruticus did, right? Like Caesar, right? And that's how he got his house. That's what. But anywho, joking serious note, it's like 2 years ago, it was still indie. They had like maybe two AAA guys, and now it's like still AA. Like I feel like okay, here's my thing. The problem with PAX East and PAX West. PAX East is more of an indie show, but people don't want to come out to the East Coast because we're all savages. Jokingly, that's not true. West Coast is just easier for everyone to get out there, but it still has focus on smaller stuff. This year, obviously, there's a couple of bangers going to be there, as well as Gamescom. But I wonder what time frame should PAX West be in? And this is my hot take: July. I think it should be June or July. That's my hot take. I think July is a better month, though. Any thoughts on that?
See, you say July, but now you fight with Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, that's that problem.
And IGN
Live. Come on, does IGN really?
I know as much as you don't like it, and also that also would fight with the other.
It also fights with Day of the Devs.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's all right. Then June it is. Then put it in June.
Then now that kind of conflicts with PAX East.
PAX East is in May, right?
They keep changing it, man.
They made it May this year. So just do one on top of each other. Don't worry about it. They got the money. They got the industry connections. They got the industry connections. It's not going well, you know. But anywho,
I just think there's too many at once.
I think no, I agree. I agree with that. I think the thing is that, like, okay, so here's my hot take. I think we need more gaming conventions, but we need more gaming conventions. We need less gamer directs and gamer showcases. This is the reason why, is because I think gamer direct showcases are nice and all. They just show you the games, whatever, but there's no interaction. I generally like the interaction portion of going to PAX East, PAX West. Hopefully, some year I'll go to Summer's Game Fest because Keith tells me they play fighting games down there. So I'll show.
I don't remember saying that, but okay.
You said that, and as you also said that Kevin does not respect women. That's why you replaced him this week, because he didn't say "Oh, women and queens." You said
I don't remember saying that.
You said that 100%.
No,
Kevin. Yeah, you did. No, it's okay. You forget because you're old and used to be young, and now you're old.
No, I'm more than enough. I'm fine.
You're hitting your twilight years of your late 80s. I understand.
I'm in my prime. I'm in my prime, baby. I know
you're in your late 80s. You're gonna start telling us how you used to love the Coleco and how Commodore 64 was the greatest. I don't know what that was about.
That part is that you're saying that right now, right? But yet you're the one who's saying those words.
I'm saying those words to remind our viewers that you're that guy who did that.
So who's the one who's old if you're the one mentioning those things? I never mentioned those things.
You mentioned those things this morning right now as we hear. You were confirming my mentioning, which makes it mentioning, means you're mentioning, I'm mentioning, which is mentioning. Huh?
Try and do that. I won't say the word psychology because I don't want to say that word and get frustrated even more than what I already am.
Yeah, but as I'm kidding around though, but on a very serious note, it's like I don't know. I want more gaming conventions, and I don't want directs stuff like that because I'm not big. Like directs are nice and they'll showcase trailers, but I feel like there's a lack of interaction in them, and there's a lack of like, oh, a game's coming out. That's it. Hey, there's a new game coming out, and I'm playing it. I'm telling people about it. There's a much more social tapestry, much more like direct way of looking at it. I want more of those.
I agree. I don't like the fact that they give us these like, hey, this game's coming out next week, or hey, this game's coming out in 3 years. Okay, then don't tell us about it. I don't
Yeah, you could. Yeah, like that's the truth. I feel that way. It's like you didn't like. Yeah, this game's coming out 7 years from now on my showcase that you couldn't play. Why do I care?
Unfortunately, that is the thing.
Right. And speaking of things that are things, I'm going to leave it to Keith to get on his soapbox and his old man mountain to tell everyone how much he loves international trade policies.
Okay, so bear with me, because this is not an old man thing. This is a thing that everybody needs to pay attention to. And we're not even talking about international because we're only focusing on this country, and this country is the one that's causing the cluster F for everybody else. So our illustrious commander-in-chief has yet again imposed these things called tariffs, these things that some people don't understand how they work. Hello, idiot on Blue Sky. I hope you understood what I told you. So let's talk about tariffs. Tariffs are basically taxes, fees imposed on the person who is purchasing something from you. Matt sold me 5,000 pounds of chicken feet. I purchased that from him. Now, all of a sudden, they're like, wait, you're charging us like 50% more. We're not going to pay that.
Right, because Matt got a chicken feed from no location. Both Matt and Keith live in America, but Matt Matt bought his chicken feed from a country, let's just call it South Korea. So I bought it from South Korea. They're tariffing me for selling the chicken feed to Keith because the product's made in South Korea. And they have the right, they can do that because it's the government. They can do that.
Yeah, and that's nothing wrong with that. There's
no. And the thing about it is that like, but when you do it all the time, you actually make price goes up. Price go up is pretty bad because things get more expensive. There's
nothing inherently wrong with tariffs. It's kind of the way of life. It's just how much you charge a person and being realistic. And on certain things, not everything needs to be a tariff. But because our buddy decided he was going to not only raise the price of the tariff, but also impact everybody, even places where just penguins live, because I don't know, whatever the hell that's about. So now when those things are coming into the country and we want to buy them, the people who purchase them, let's just say Scott's like, he is now the consumer. Scott wants to buy chicken feet from me, but because the tariffs went up, I now have to charge Scott more money because I'm not going to eat the cost.
Of course not.
But of course, the people out in La La Land are like, "What companies have that money? They can eat the tariff." And I'm like,
"Do they want to though? They'll just raise the price on you."
It's a business. They're not going to eat the tariff. They're going to raise the price of the product. And then you're going to be the one who's taking the downfall because instead of the chicken feed being $50 for you, pound, whatever, it's now $100 a pound, or maybe $1.25 a pound. So which means now you pay more money for the stuff. And what happens to you, Scott?
Now I have to pay it.
Now he pays it, and now Scott has less money in his bank account.
Yes.
The messed up part about it is that like you also affect the sales of commodity for it. Here's a perfect example. I think that everyone here has seen as time went on, which is what the food my people eat. My people don't eat a lot of avocado. Caribbeans, Latin Americans, we all eat avocado. It's a big deal. It's a part of our culture. We eat it with rice and everything, right? The price of avocado goes up. You're kind of affecting a set of people's livelihood and lifestyle choices of eating. Now I'm being punished for eating a food or food group that is essentially part of the culture I eat and healthy and good for me. Things like that happen too. You could actually affect people's diets that way. If there was I'm I'm not going to propose this, a little radical here, a sugar tax or a tax on soda.
Whoa. That's bad.
You see, exactly. That's a tariff. All soda that comes from that's been bottled outside of the United States of America receives let's just say a 20% tariff. You're paying, the Coca-Cola is going to make you pay 20%
Could
more.
you see that? Could you actually see that happening and people going, I got to pay $2 a bottle for a Coke?
Exactly. Exactly. Now, the thing is well, I bottled my Coca-Cola in America. Here's the thing. The plastic wasn't made here. The plastic was made elsewhere. Therefore, boom, 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 you're still paying the tariff.
And
there
that's
are
the
multiple
thing
ways
people
to
don't
make
get.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. People don't understand. But let's get back to what we're talking about in general here.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing all these different companies go, hey, we're raising the price of our Nintendo Switch. We're raising the price of our PlayStation 5. We're raising the price of our Xbox Series X. That video card is now going up in price. Oh, those floppy, geez, I'm getting old. Those CD drives or those deep Blu-rays are now going up in price. That stash behind you is now going up in price. Everything is going up in price. Why? Because we're buying these products from another country outside of America. And because Trump don't have brain, he thinks that's a good thing. But because Trump's not a good business person, he doesn't realize that the companies who are buying the things are passing it on to the consumers.
No, this is exactly entirely the situation. So it's because again, the company will realize, well, I don't want to eat that 15% cost for business doing up. Because again, businesses are designed to make profit go up. And again, these little things can affect your purchasing power, your buying habits. Like if games are more expensive, you're gonna buy less video games.
And that's not even
controllers are more expensive, you're gonna buy less controllers or accessories.
And that's not even the whole thing about it. We've already seen outside of this space, maybe even part of this space, companies realizing they're going to be affected, and they have either laid off employees or completely closed up their shop.
Yeah.
Because they know they can't afford it. So
pretty much
that's tariffs. Tariffs are a good thing or not good, a necessary evil. But when you start raising tariffs to ridiculous prices,
you can crash the economy.
So that's what's happening. So when people go tariffs are good, that person has no idea what a tariff is.
No,
you can ignore them. Because they don't have no idea what
the worst part is a lot of people, well, we'll just make more stuff here. We don't have the material to make everything we need here. Again, can America grow enough avocados to feed half the Southwest, which is a dominant Latino population?
I'll give you something better.
No, it does not.
I'll give you something better. And this is something that I was talking to my wife about. This world, for whatever made this world, had an idea to put certain minerals in certain places that they just are not found anywhere else.
That is correct.
So the stuff that we need to make all these computer chips, the silicon and whatnot, it's not over here in the USA, or you want to call it America. We have to go to places overseas to get that stuff. So they go, hey, by the way, we're going to charge you more now because you're charging us more tariffs. So we're going to charge you more now. So then I buy it and I sell it to Matt this time. Says Matt looking to make some stuff. And Matt's like, well, either I pay the price or I pass this shit over to his consumers. It's not a good thing when you start going, here's 50% on top of the 100% you were already paying. Because the guy wasn't even thinking about, we're already charging him a certain amount of tariffs. So I already charged a certain amount of tariffs. He was like, he's just going to make some arbitrary number up, which I don't understand. And I'm going through it.
It's just harmful. It's just harmful because it doesn't really provide any proper utility. Because it's for example, the two previous administrations ago, this guy called Barack Obama, the guy who caused the world to go to hell, from what I hear.
He caused the change.
He had a very specific tariff he imposed. He said that I do not want too much Chinese steel or aluminum-based products in America. But he understood it. So he only tapped it by, I think, between 15 to 20% range. I could be incorrect on it. But he made a small change in that, and that was just enough to keep it even. If you start taxing 30, 40, 50% on all products, are you out of your mind? That's too much. Because, again, you still have to respect that businesses use it as well as there is utility to it. Again, there are essentially three type of products in the universe. There are inferior products, there are luxury products, and there are, I would say, average products. If you tax luxury goods, no one's going to feel that bad about it. But China has a reputation of making quote unquote inferior goods. It's not true, but a reputation. So if you tax their inferior goods, people won't buy as much inferior goods and move up to buy the quality chain stuff.
Now,
again, tariffs is.
Go ahead. Finish up. No,
tariff is a very, 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 very fine tool to use and very difficult to manage because you're essentially telling people what they can and can't buy in a high-end basis. A perfect example of this is because of the tariffs. I legitimately bought some housewarming gifts for friends from this country called England. I know, England, a country. I'm not friend. All my friends hate the British. So I had to wait a couple of days just to confirm the tariff amount I was willing to pay because the product itself costs between $60 to $70. The tariff was between, at one point, $30. So I paid $100. I had to wait to drop to like $21 or to $19, and that's what I was willing to pay. But the fact I had to wait and see because this man is so erratic about tariffs, that's not a good thing. Are you going to sit there and wait to buy something that says, oh, tariffs are good today, I could buy some things from Japan or whatever?
Now let's go back to the final thing that really makes this thing terrible. So we've already talked about the negative impact about this. So you impose a higher tariff on a country. The country retaliates and charges you more. How
That's
about
correct.
this? How about the country goes, okay, fine. Whatever you're selling to us, we'll never buy from you ever again. We'll go somewhere else and get it cheaper. And that's what countries have been doing as well.
Yeah.
So not only are we charging our people in this country more money to buy stuff, we're making less because that country decided not to buy from us anymore.
That is correct. No, that is a possibility. You can close off an entire market. You can, because you've been so animosity towards them. So they're like, I don't want to buy from you anymore. I'll go elsewhere. And here's the thing: if you thought that, well, I don't want to buy avocados from Latin America and the Caribbeans. Well, what are they going to sell the avocados to? They'll sell it to China, Malaysia. They'll sell it to Europe and make the money that way. Remember, all the embargoes that we've done and tariffs we did to Cuba was not enough to make Cuba destitute. Cuba still sold their goods outside of black markets to France, to Europe. It wasn't enough. We for years until currently lost out on a lot of Cuban products, but they were able to, because of that, they sold to other people. This is how tariffs work. You can end up pushing people away to other competitors to sell their stuff. And by the way, what if they were to buy it cheaper? Let's just say I don't want to be conspiracy mode here. We tariff Japan, Korea, and China so heavily that they make their stuff they sell here, PS5s, Nintendo Switches. Let's say they jack it up to like $700. I'm just making a number up. But if you lived in Europe, it's about $200. You know why? Why not? What's stopping them from selling to the competitor cheaper and giving us a raw deal? Because they hate us because of what we did to tariffs. It's just bad business across the board. It's just bad business using it in this manner.
Now, we don't want to give you a lesson on tariffs or to give you scare tactics, but as we've been saying before, this is why the products that you like or want are going up. Again, this is a gaming space. We talk about games and geek culture. The things that you like, the things that you enjoy are slowly going up in price. Do you not find it weird that we're paying more money for an older console? Traditionally, you would pay less the longer a console was on the market. That is not happening anymore. You're paying more for a Nintendo Switch. Can you imagine paying more for that console? You're paying more for a PlayStation 5. See, I was being nice. You're paying more for an Xbox Series X or S. You're paying more for older video cards. That's not how that's supposed to work. They're supposed to be cheaper.
Or in some instances, relative to cost.
So yeah, that's what's happening, folks. Meanwhile, Also, keep this in mind. There might be some latest and greatest technology that you might want to get, but guess what? It's not coming over here because it costs too much. Or the people that exports it goes, you know what? It costs too much to do that. Or maybe it's not going to make me enough money. Or maybe I just don't want to anymore.
No, like I said, the thing about
bad.
the whole tariff situation, the whole thing with the tariff situation, it's just bad, and it also shows like a sense of like this is a tool that we've been using for about a long time to like have
Forever.
trade, whatever.
As
But
long
the
as
problem
trade
is that we're
exists,
not supposed, but we're not supposed to use it in a way where like, oh, by the way, I want to raw dog an entire other nation like who's been a business partner for us for a while now. It's like, what? Why would you do that? Hey, that's crazy.
yeah.
Like,
so,
it's just like I'm surrounded by empty-headed dumb fucks energy,
But that's what it is, unfortunately. So that was the quick rundown on tariffs. So they exist. They do hurt us. They are going to hurt us. There's nothing we can do about it other than, pay attention to politics and do what you can to probably help make things better. But on the flip side, you won't have to deal with it forever.
Well, it really depends of the negative consequences and how we evolve.
Tariffs don't mean a thing when you're dead.
No.
Well, that's one way to think about it, but it's more like the
Unless
negative
you're tariffing coffins, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
They do that.
Yeah.
Did you know that the coffin, the funeral home stuff is a racket? Wow.
Kind of is, yeah.
The amount of money I had to pay for my mom and my brother's coffins was like, dear God, they're dead. They don't need this. What are you selling me? Oh my God.
Peace of mind, unironically.
Yeah, they said that too. Like they wouldn't care if they're buried in a cardboard box. They're gone. Stop, please.
I know it's one of those, but it's like, yeah. The only thing that sucks though is that like, whenever it happens in the future for tariffs, it's going to be a very awkward situation when people look around and look at other countries or look at us. It's like, yeah, again, we're America's in this weird position that like, even if, and I believe this, we can get out of this, we'll be fine, we'll reverse it. A lot of us going to give us a lot of side eye because like, you did you just do that? Did you just like last time you were around, you just jacked the price on me for no reason? And they keep that in their back pocket and do it to us in return because we were stupid once. Just saying, stupid games with stupid prizes.
Let's talk about something on a more positive tip. Oh wait, that's not positive.
That's not positive.
Xbox.
Yeah, we can talk. Yeah,
we get to talk about the Xbox. I'm sorry. Let me go back up. The Asus ROG Xbox Ally, and this is something that I've talked to somebody about over and over and over.
Yes,
because they weren't understanding what I was trying to explain to them. So first of all, Xbox Ally is not Xbox's product. This belongs to Asus. They're the ones who are making it. They're making it for Xbox. It does not belong to Xbox. It is not Xbox's handheld. Please stop saying that. People are not understanding that. You can come at me all you want. I'm on Blue Sky. I love to have a conversation with you, but it's not theirs. That said, they finally did announce that this thing's going to be released on October 16th. Maybe if it doesn't run into the tariff situation, we'll have to wait and see. But funny enough, we were expecting them to also announce the price, but they didn't. But then Best Buy broke some kind of thing and did show the prices for a split second, then took them down because tariffs. Xbox was like, we're not going to announce it due to what was the exact wording? I gotta
economical conditions.
Yes, that right there. Which is another word for saying tariffs. God, I hate this word. So we do not know how much. We do not know how much it's actually going to cost. But boys and girls, ladies and gents, this thing is not going to be cheap. We said this multiple times on the podcast. We've seen the leaks. The X version was $900, $899 USD. It's not a cheap platform, folks. It's not. So I feel bad for these people who don't understand what this is. I truly think that this thing is not going to sell well. As much as I said to people, it's not going to sell well, and they're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. This is not being marketed properly. It is a handheld gaming PC, not an Xbox console. It will not play your Xbox games. It will play the games published by Xbox for Xbox on PC. There's a difference.
Yeah, it will only really implement your library if your library has Xbox Play Anywhere. And you have to know that Xbox Play Anywhere is still not really supported very much.
Yeah. You've noticed that? It's just slowly going away.
Yeah, it's weird because it was something that they touted a lot at, especially in the beginning of the Series X generation. And then you look at even a lot of the first-party games aren't Play Anywhere titles for some stupid reason.
I guess it's because now they're making them for PC now. I mean, before it was like, hey, you buy this, you get to play it on your PC. But now it's like, we're making it for the PC. But kind of cheats you, right? Because when you got an Xbox Play Anywhere game, you got the copy for your Xbox and the copy for your PC.
Yep.
So that's business. They knew what they're doing. They knew exactly what they're doing. They're slowly ramping that down so people forget about that. But I was watching the stream while I was working, looking at the comments, and people were not impressed with this at all. The first thing, they were like 720p on this console that I can play for 2 hours. And I'm like, that's not something that you want to say. They completely.
You're not even doing Steam Deck numbers with that.
That's the thing right there. And that's the thing right there. It's like you're going into a sea with other platforms, including Asus's other ROG Ally, which is exactly the same thing with a weaker processor, though we've seen so far that it's not really that much big of a difference.
No.
So that's kind of frustrating, at least early on. I will say the haptic feedback, the triggers, that's a nice touch, but that's not $900 nice touch.
No.
And I'm wondering if it's going to drive the price of the original ROG Ally X down.
I wouldn't mind that. I might actually get it.
That might be nice. That would be a nice thing for people to do. I would love to see that.
I almost want to prefer getting the original ROG Ally X over the Xbox, just because I'm not the biggest fan of the whole controller ergonomics.
It's funny because I kind of wanted the case for that, but actually after I had a case, it kind of did that. Way to go, 3D printing. I took it out. I was like, yeah, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about handhelds, you know what I would love to have? That MSI 8 Plus, but they won't sell it in this country. I guess that's because of tariffs.
The economical conditions.
The economical conditions, right? It's like it's a never-ending suffering cycle. That's what it says. Yeah.
It's the
Don't make it political, fine, or make it economical.
Right, which is for some people they're both anyway.
I mean, guys and gals, you have to understand everybody. I don't want to say gals and girls. Everybody needs to understand that just because we talk about gaming, that we don't dip into the political scene, understand that this is going to affect us in a very serious way and for quite some time.
Yeah.
You like buying those cartridges? Those things might go up in price. You think $70, $80 games is bad? If Nintendo decides to raise their prices on the Switch cartridges that aren't really cartridges, you're paying $90, $100 for them because of economic impact. You might be like, all right, I'm a fan of digital now.
Yeah,
but even then,
it's weird how the game key cards is doing so much to turn people into digital.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised if they'll raise the price for digital games too, because why not? They control the market for digital gaming most of the time. Not because it's not being conspiracy pilled.
No, I agree, because the digital market is a cluster F. It was supposed to be making the price go down. All of a sudden, it was like the middleman's gone. So the fat cat was like, well, I ain't got to give you the cut that I was supposed to drop off. I'm just going to keep it. Now I'm going to raise it even more.
Yep.
Yeah, again, companies don't like to eat. They don't like to eat costs. Thank you. They love to eat, but they don't want to eat costs.
They like to eat profits where they make them.
Yeah, the profits is good. That's what they say.
They want the ROI. They do not want the cost.
Yeah.
So, That's also another thing that got delayed. I was also about to mention that the analog 3D that we pre-ordered last year that got delayed, and was supposed to come out. What was it? This month.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come out. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they announced today. They even emailed me because I ordered one. They're like, "Oh,
you have one on pre-order."
They're like, fourth quarter 2025. I'm like, "Yeah, can I get my money back? I don't care anymore. I'm at the point I don't care.
We're just gonna get a Raspberry Pi and just put that on the
pretty much. I the appeal of actually having hardware to actually do the playing of the games. It sounds great, but at this point in time, just give me my money back. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this super awesome mega beast of a machine. I don't really care anymore. Whatever. As long as I can play the game, I don't care if it. But you're not playing it right. You got to. I don't care.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, it's interesting that we have the whole conversation, anyways, of people talking about the proper way to play retro games. And honestly, the only way to really play retro games is to just play the games.
And then War Games reference just popped in my head. I mean, you really want to go that route, then just spend your money and just buy these consoles.
Yeah, if you want to play the proper way, get a CRTV and then get the GameCube, and then you're set.
The last CRT I had was one of the 32-inch Sony Wega, and that
thing would have been fun to carry.
Oh my god, I am not a weakling, but oh my god, you pick a thing up and it's like, okay, no, and if it falls on somebody, it kills them.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was fine with. I had like a little 9-inch TV when I was a kid that I had a CRT for my bedroom. That was it.
Jeez.
I don't want to go backwards to that. You can keep your CRTs. I got my LEDs right here.
I'm good with my LEDs.
Yep. That's crazy. It's like when I think about people playing retro games, play them any way you can. If you think buying them is the best way, good luck to your wallet and your collection.
Good luck. Good luck finding them that aren't reproduction cartridges.
Exactly, which is also another thing. And you can steal the 7Cs. There are tons of websites that can help with that. Yeah. I recommend that, but good luck, I guess. But like I said, the entirety of the situation's number go up, and that number is going to stay going up. So enjoy.
Yeah, the retro market is not getting any cheaper.
So are we at the end of the show? Because if we are, I have a question for you, Matt, before we go.
All right, we are actually at the end of the show, but what's that question for me?
So how do you feel about Rah Rah Boom?
So Rah Rah Boom is all right, everybody. Let's see you next time on the Spectator Mode Podcast.
Oh, it's like the Adventures of Woody, and we don't get the next show because the season was canceled, and we'll never hear
exactly.
Day.
Like Rah Rah Boom. It's I'll be honest with you. It's I went to look for the game, played a couple times at PAX East. I would thought the game get better. The final product is not good. It has high production value. Its gameplay loop is just not good.
And I was asking you this because I wanted you to be honest and be realistic, because we played a lot of great beat 'em ups for the last couple of years.
Yep.
It feels like this was just like backwards.
They want to capitalize on the Renaissance without doing any of the legwork.
it just feels like even if I go to the lowest common denominator of beat 'em up, it doesn't even do that well. I'm gonna point out the first problem with the game. So when you start the game, you can look at the button layout to see what the buttons does. You'll notice that your left trigger, LT, whatever, is dodge. You play in game, that button doesn't work. You know why? That's a skill you have to buy. Why'd you put that there? That already got me upset. When you buy upgrade skills to do new attacks, such as uppercut, the enemy is not launched when you get hit by uppercut. That's all I got. There's situations like that. So there isn't diversity within the 4 playable characters besides look. There isn't, and there's minuscule diversity, like maybe range of attack, but that's not enough. The combo system is just not good. And this is somebody who plays a lot of Final Fight 1 and Streets of Rage 1. If I was going to tell anybody to learn what is a good beat 'em up, I would say look at Final Fight 1 and Streets of Rage 2. because both of those are so influential as beat 'em ups and very basic. You can learn a lot by playing those games and looking at them. One of the things I think that hurt me about Raw Raw Boom is that the marketing compared itself to games such as River City Girls. It compared itself to other modern games like Streets of Rage 4. And it's like, oh, you guys have a strong, complex combo system. And they're like, absolutely not. Non-existent. Non-existent. It's a game that has high production value but low gameplay. This is a bad PS1 game. And that is the most honest I'll give it to you. This game, if I had to review it right now, the game is a hard 1 out of 5.
I think me and you have different view takes on some of the things. Not what you said. I agree everything what you said, but the thing that turned me off before anything else, I was willing to give the combat a couple more times. I was willing to go, okay, maybe it gets better. But the moment I looked at the game and it said I could hit a button to dodge, and it's telling me I have to acquire the dodge.
That's what that's what I said. Yeah. That's exactly why I gave it. That's exactly the thing.
I thought you said you like the mechanic of the dodge. I'm sorry. Yeah, I
no, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, that's exactly what.
I don't like that. That's just like you. What? That's just like
there's also
it's like you got to level up to get the dodge. Why?
Also, another problem with the game is that there's a lot of like, if you want to make your character like good, you grind out to get the stats up, but it still don't feel powerful. I feel like the stats doesn't do as much. That's also another thing. It just doesn't feel good. Like I said, this game's a hard 1 out of 5. It has good production. The art's good. The music's okay, but that's all it is. It looks great. You play it, it's like nothing. Under the hood, there's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I don't like throwing shade at people unless it's deserved. I'm looking at all these people that are saying this is such a great game, and I'm going, what? No, it's not. No, it's not. Please stop. No, it's not. This is what hurts developers. When you tell them that their thing is good and you're not giving them credible feedback, you're not critiquing them on things that you really should. If somebody makes a bad game that could be fixed, but you're telling them that it's good, they're not going to address it. They're going to go, okay, this is what we did, something that's good. And they're going to keep doing the same thing. So a game that could be saved, they go, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. And it just stays broken. And people who actually care about a certain type of genre, like me and Matt, we care about beat 'em ups. We're going to go, no, this game is bad. And yeah, those reviews, those people saying that this is a good game, I
worry about people who say, no, I worry too, because it's just like the lower bar, as well as like I'm not even comparing it to Streets of Rage 4 or River City Girls. So I'm comparing it to classic beat 'em ups that are just, I call the basics. Again, Final Fight 1, Streets of Rage 2. Those are the classic beat 'em ups. You can learn a lot of basic design philosophy, level design, enemy structure, and play them through that. For your big enemy body types, your skinny, to your fast guys, to your weapon dealers, there's a lot of things you can learn from those design levels. And it's like, wow, this is abysmal. Also, the shooting is just terrible. The shooting is just terrible. It's just terrible. I think it's just terrible. I would not recommend this to anybody.
Yeah, it's
terrible.
Yeah,
because you don't lock in place and you just run back and forth. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not good either. So I just wanted to bring that up. I know we talked about it. I wanted you to air your grievances.
Yeah. No, I don't even have grievances. It's just it's not. I can even grievances. It's like, wow, this game has let me down more than my father who didn't come back for the Pop-Tarts. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Well, I've said my piece. My people.
Yeah. Actually, and no, my father did not. I'm Caribbean. My father didn't buy Pop-Tarts. He left me and didn't come back with plantains. It's over. Okay, it's the same thing. Don't worry about it. Oh God, but no. All seriousness though, it's a beat 'em up that has high polish and production value and design, but its gameplay is nothing. It's a car with no engine. It's a Ferrari with no engine. That's the best way to describe it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's okay. That is the best way, because the thing that to me is like these type of games that are bad in that way remind me of, again, bad PS1 games. Like there's a lot of PS1 games you may have forgotten, remember, that look really good but play like complete crap, but had great graphics. That doesn't work anymore. That worked back then. We know better because we can play the games now. But yeah, like unless the developer and his team decides to do huge overhaul of the combat system and everything else to be okay. That's really it. Because it's like if you just polish the combat for having a proper hit stuns, a basic 1-2-3 combo, and that could be fine. And you have a throw animation. You don't even have throw in that game. You have 1-2-3 and a special attack hit both sides or better back attacks. But ne sais pas. And speaking of ne sais pas, not to talk about it anymore. This is the end of the This is the end of the podcast. This is going to be a huge thank you to everyone that followed the podcast so far. We thank each and last one of you for being here. If you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Blue Sky, YouTube. Check out Spectator Mode Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, where podcasts are hosted. This is Getsilius, Keith, and Scott signing out. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.